In this video, we're going to explore one of the hottest $10 million per month Shopify stores in one of the biggest niches on Shopify. So, the store I'm talking about today is called Addicted, and it's a brilliant brand that I've touched on in the past briefly. But in today's video, I want to dive super deep with you to uncover their marketing strategies, their best selling products, some of the fashion trends that they're exploring and capitalizing on. And I'm even going to go deep into showing you how you could do the same thing sprinkled in there so that you can take action on your own business. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, let's start with the numbers. So, Addicted's estimated annual revenue was about $119 million as of early 2025. Now, that's pretty insane, right? That's about $9.9 million a month, but we're going to round it up to 10 because they're probably growing even faster now. This is the biggest e-com year pretty much of all time, actually. Some of the data that we're getting back suggests that we're actually reaching and even surpassing COVID peaks in terms of e-commerce sales worldwide. Now, if we take a look at the top online shopping categories on Shopify, so this is Shopify data, shout out to Shopify, we can see that fashion is actually the second biggest category in the entirety of Shopify, right? So it contributes to $760 billion in sales. And that was in 2024. As I mentioned, this year we're probably going to see $1 trillion from just a single category, probably electronics. And then fashion is going to be a close second. So fashion is just one of those categories that is so much bigger than people generally think, right? Like we just don't think about it so much, but I mean, we all wear clothes, right? So it's just such a big category. Now, I posted that on my X profile. Make sure you go follow me on X if you want more content from me and more data. I post a lot of interesting stuff on there. But if we take a look at some of their trending products, I want to actually take a deep look into their product pages, some of their trending products, and then their best sellers, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to reverse engineer this brand and see if we can find products that are very similar to the trends that they're capitalizing on that we could potentially launch, right? So that's what my team and I do. So, my company is called Blue Dot Holdings. I'll kind of give you a brief rundown. We own a lot of software, we own a lot of e-commerce stores, and we also own an agency called Academy Lab, which you've probably heard of before. And we work with so many different Shopify brands and softwares. We run their ads and things like that. And yeah, it's just, I love doing these videos because it kind of gives me ideas that I can use for our stores, our clients, etc. So, I'm going to try to kind of give you the rundown on how we would do this. But let's take a look first and foremost at their trending products. Now, one thing that we can see, let's actually take a look at this product. I feel like these products are actually really trending right now. These off the shoulder look. I know my girlfriend wears these things a lot lately. And, if you have a girlfriend, you or a wife, right? Like she's my wife, she's my girlfriend, but we're like soulmates. Anyways, if you have a significant other in your life, that is a very powerful research method. Like observe what they're into. And these shirts right now are very popular. Now, one thing that I noticed very heavily with this brand is that they are running a ton of sales. So they are kind of running the dropshipping model, or it's not really a dropshipping model. I shouldn't even say that, to be honest, because that has a negative connotation. But basically, they are not afraid to discount products and just run really strong offers. When you discount products, of course, there is, you could consider that devaluing the brand. But in reality, I mean, that's a little bit of overthinking, in my opinion, because with fashion, things cycle in and out so quickly that you kind of have to give people an excuse. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to succeed quickly and fast and have a high conversion rate, you should put things on sale and basically just run really strong offers. Everybody talks about that outside of the ecom world, right? Like for example, Alex Hermosi, he always talks about for info businesses and service businesses to have, really no-brainer offers. But why don't we apply that to ecom, right? E-commerce is, all those things apply here too. Now, I can tell that this is a very high converting landing page because of how much social proof they have. Social proof is the number one like high converting element that you need to have on your landing page, and it's actually shocking to me. I get to audit a variety of Shopify stores out there, right? Like from small Shopify stores that are doing 6 figures a year to big Shopify stores that do 9 figures a year, like a little bit of everything. But what I notice a lot is a lot of the people that struggle a lot, and they're like, why is my website not converting? They literally only have like studio shots of their product without any faces, any humans anywhere. And, they just expect that to convert. But in reality, like people want to see other humans enjoying the products that you're selling. Now, you could use models using AI. So one of the, like a lot of these, honestly, I would think could be AI. They're not, but well, actually, we don't really know that. But we do have a tool and workflow that's coming that's called Adscape. I actually posted about this today a little bit because, yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of what the workflow looks like inside of Adscape. You can literally just describe exactly what you want, and the AI will make it for you. So, if you just combine this with my videos, this is going to be extremely powerful. So I'll leave a link to the waitlist for this in the description of this video, and you can sign up. It's going to be free. So, I mean, it'll be usage based. You don't need a subscription to use it. And so you can just make as many videos as you want or images as you want. It'll be really cool. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. There's a lot of really cool tools coming out that are just so valuable and helpful for launching an e-commerce business. But oh, actually, I just realized this is actually the mini skirt. So this isn't even the shirt that we're talking about. So anyways, yeah, this is a very trending product. Tons of social proof, very well styled by all these girls. And that's just, that just makes people want to buy. Now, let's take a look next at the best sellers. So, this is what we like to do, right? We want to look at the trends, but then we want to also look at the proven products, which are the best sellers. Now, let's actually sort by best selling too. You can do this on any site by doing this tag here, !sort by best selling, or, you can just go to their best sellers. But sometimes Shopify stores hide their best sellers, because they don't want competition, and that's totally fair. You always got to remember, as much as e-commerce is like it's just such a big market, so you shouldn't worry about competition so much. At the same time, you don't want to bring in competition if you don't have to, right? That's why I don't really share my stores, because unfortunately, I want you to build your own store. And honestly, if you copy me, it's probably fine. But if thousands of people start copying everything that I'm doing on the stores, that's probably going to be a problem, right? And you guys wouldn't buy the stuff I'm selling. So well, actually some of it maybe, which I'll show you in later videos, some of the brands that we have. I actually think you guys might really enjoy shopping on. But anyways, so these are their best sellers right now. Like they're true best sellers. And as you see, it's these flare jeans, which doesn't surprise me too much because I'm seeing a lot of really strong trends in the jean department inside the Shopee Lab software. So ShopeeLab.ai. This is an amazing software that we developed for research purposes, but also for education purposes. So we have a learning and community section here where you can engage in live calls with me and the group, and a ton of courses that are really, really awesome. And we're always making more. But one of the main things about the software is all these incredible trends. So this is actually how I found this brand. Even though I've seen them before, I did see that they were just absolutely blowing up. Like over 1.5 million people are looking up this brand every single month. Like this is, I wish I could invest in this brand. Maybe there's a way that I can invest in this brand. If anybody out there knows, if you're maybe a shareholder, like maybe you're an employee and you're willing to sell your shares to me, I will buy them, because this is just such a powerful brand. And yeah, as you see, the flare jeans are really, really trending right now, and $49 is not bad. So let me show you a little hack here. If you're just starting your business, I want to show you how you could kind of reverse engineer this, right? So we see this product, it's these flare faux leather jeans. So, it's not real leather, it's polyester, which, it's not the best. It's not the best material, but a lot of people don't care that much, and it is pretty, I guess, durable. So that's the one good thing about it. What we can do is, let me actually go to Team Drop here. So Team Drop is an incredible sourcing platform. It's just such a big hack right now when it comes to starting an e-com brand, because you can ship directly from, their suppliers, their 3PLs in China, And there's actually some save zones right now that allow you to prevent well, it doesn't prevent you from paying tariffs. It's just that the tariffs just get baked into the shipping price. And when you're selling smaller individual products, it's actually still very manageable. So that's why, unfortunately, brands that have these streamlined supply chains that are like very simple, like this, they are not as affected by tariffs as some of the bigger brands, which actually makes it a really powerful time, in my opinion, to start an e commerce business, especially with the model that we follow or that we like to launch with at least. And actually, we did build, finally, I told you guys this was coming, a Shopify store builder for you guys. So this is absolutely free. And this is actually the exact same theme that we used, that we've launched. For example, this month we've launched 3 stores. Collectively, they're doing about $2,000 a day. And we launched it with the same exact theme. So it's a 100% free theme, and you can use it by just going to the link that I'll leave in the description. This is brand new. So you just go here and then, you just start building it out. It's really cool. It actually builds it for you. It's very quick. But what we can do here anyways, I lost my train of thought a little bit, but let's get back into it, is we can just look up the same keyword, right? So something like this, we can go on product search. So you can do just on Team Drop itself, you can look if they have specific products already sourced for this. Which you can see they don't. I mean, they have plenty of other products, but they don't have this specific keyword. So what I'm going to do is go to the product search tab, and then I'm going to look in the 1688 marketplace in Taobao, which are like the Amazons of China. A lot of products that have not come to the US yet are on these platforms, which is really powerful because, believe it or not, a lot of trends in the US actually do originate from China. And we just don't know it because there's like such a big language barrier and culture barrier too. But that's kind of how trends actually come about. A lot of times they come from China to the US, and then from the US to Europe and South America, and Africa now too. Honestly, Africa is becoming a bigger and bigger emerging market. We have members in our accelerator, for example, that are just selling in the African markets. Morocco, for example, is becoming a bigger and bigger player in the e-commerce space, which is amazing. Like, everybody that's watching this worldwide, use this data, these ideas that I'm telling you. Actually, for the store builder, believe it or not, you can do it in French, you can do it in Dutch, you can do it in Spanish. Literally, you can do it however you want. And this is free, guys. This is a free resource that we made for you. But so where was I? Yeah, so right here, for example, we can see, okay, so we are finding some faux leather pants. So, okay, these are pretty expensive. Yeah, this is probably not going to work out, right? So this is a trend that I would just straight up skip, because it's just simply not going to work with these prices. Like, if we're going to pay $68 for jeans, we have to build like a designer brand, which, you can do, guys. Like, you can do anything in this world. You can do whatever you want. If you want to build a designer brand, you can. No one is stopping you, right? Like, or just like a luxury brand, because these seem very high quality. If we look at the product description, we can see these are like seriously high quality jeans. So let's just say, for example purposes, we wanted to put, this is actually a super key valuable lesson. And you can use this ShopiLab tool that is free. Again, you can sign up to the ShopiLab platform actually for absolutely free. Yes, some of these research tools are paid tools, so they will be locked, but you can still join our community, connect your Discord to the platform, and you can use these calculators that are super valuable. So, for example, we can put in the cost of goods here. So let's assume that the cost of goods for these, let's say we were building a designer type of brand or a luxury premium brand for this specific best-selling trend that we just found, right? So what we can do is we can take that price, but let's actually assume that it's a little more expensive because you're going to have to pay shipping price. So let's say it's $80, which is crazy. I would honestly just avoid this product because you can just do more research and find better stuff. But let's say it's $80. Let's say you found this product and you're like, okay, well, I can only sell these for, $100, right? This is the bad thing about that. When you do that, right, your margin is only $20, which some people say, well, as long as you have a $20 margin, you're good. But that's actually not true, because when you're running ads, which is one of the most powerful ways to grow your business from zero, because you can have no business today and tomorrow have a business that's generating revenue if you just launch ads. You can see, for example, that we would need a 5.88x return on ad spend in order to be profitable, which is in order to just break even, which that means for every dollar we spend on ads, we have to make back at least 5.88 just to break even. That's impossible. It's not impossible, but super improbable, right? Like that is probably not going to happen. But if we say sell this for $199, which yes, it's very expensive, but again, let's see luxury jeans. Let's see how much luxury jeans go for. I mean, some go for $178, $298. It's not uncommon to, well, it is uncommon. Not most people don't shop premium jeans, right? But the people that do, they're willing to pay this price. So, for example, let me see where I went. At that price point, that's a 2.49x cost multiplier, a $100 profit margin. That is very nice. And a 1.76x return on ad spend. So that makes it a little bit more manageable, right? Much more manageable. So let's say you're running ads and you're getting a 3.4x ROAS, right? Which is not unreasonable with a high priced product like this and with really strong ads, which I'll show you. Well, we're going to analyze their marketing here in just a little bit. But let's just, and you can use their marketing as inspo or whatever inspo you want to use, but just make sure you use something as inspiration, some data, so that you have somewhere to start with like a data-driven hypothesis. But let's say you're getting a 3.4x return on ad spend, right, on this product. That means that you're at 27% profit margins, which is super solid, right? And that's first order profitable. So, and in fashion, that's so incredibly powerful because guess what? People shop. The reason why fashion is so big is because people are always shopping for fashion stuff. So your customers that you're getting, they will shop with you over and over again, especially if you provide them with a solid customer experience, which you can do actually through shipping directly from Asia. People think that you can't, and that's a misconception, especially right now with tariff times. People are willing to wait a little bit longer. And actually, a lot of these products are quite fast. So we can, for example, I mean, not all of them, but let's say, maybe this product isn't, but let's find just a small product. I do recommend, I'm recommending to a lot of the accelerator members and the Shopee Lab community members for you guys to just try to stick to smaller products because smaller products are just going to be much easier to deal with. But let's just look up, I don't know, a wallet, right? I saw a wallet on TikTok that I kind of wanted to test recently, but let's just say this I don't know, let's just say this like Gothic one, or yeah, this one. Let's see what we can do. So we can do 5 to 8 day shipping. That's pretty fast. Like that's actually quite reasonable for $8 shipping cost. Not bad at all, right? Yeah, that's not too bad. But anyways, so in this case, this is what you would have to do to make it profitable. But of course, you could find other products that are just a lot cheaper, right? Like you don't have to find a designer. Let's see, flared jeans. You don't have to find a designer pant or jean, although that is a cool idea, but you don't have to do that. You could do something simpler like this that is, let's see, what's the fastest possible shipping directly from Asia is $17.95, so it'd be $25 total. So let's do this again. Let's just go, boom, this is the total price. Let's say we sell this one for $75. Or even $69, right? Like it, maybe a little bit cheaper. Then we need a 1.68x return on ad spend to be breaking even. So if we're getting, let's say, a 2.7 return on ad spend, that means we are at a 22% profit margin, right? But of course, we can play with this, right? You can do a really strong offer to make people buy two, and maybe your, AOV goes up to let's say 99, and the cost of goods would only increase a little bit because, the shipping price stays somewhat similar. So let's say this increases to 37. Okay, well, that's actually the exact same. So yeah, whatever. This was a bad example, but you get the point, right? So let's actually proceed here. I got a little bit on a tangent, but I wanted to provide that value for you guys just so you kind of understand how you could do this, right? How you can actually do something like this. I want you guys to believe in yourselves and like, sure, Addicted is already doing 10 million a year, or 10 million a month, but you could do 100K a month. Why not, right? If they can do 10 million a month, you can do 100K a month, or even 10K a month, right? Like 10K a month would really, uh, you could easily build a 10K a month business. But as you see, this is actually the style of ads that is working super well right now for so many of our clients right now, and brands, and even, yeah, just our software clients. Like, we see so much data, and I'm telling you, these kinds of like native raw images are performing extremely well. So that's pretty cool because these are not too difficult to make with AI. Now, as you see, they're running a lot of carousel ads, probably catalog ads as well. And one very interesting thing, these guys are so good at understanding community building. They're doing like in-person events a lot, and they're actually even running ads to these in-person events where they're doing a ton of giveaways and things of that nature, which is really smart. As you see, they're not afraid to run really insane discount ads, so up to 80% off site wide. And the key word here is up to, right? That doesn't mean everything is 80% off, but even if they just have one product that's 80% off, they can claim that up to 80% off. These are super good. So welcome fall sale, up to 80% off, and then some more raw UGC kind of videos, or carousels. So this one's actually a good one. It's mixed with some studio shots. Yeah, they're running so many different ads, and yes, this is actually part of the Shopify Lab software as well, if you are interested in that. But you can also view a lot of these things just directly in the Meta Ads library for free. So you don't need the Shopify Lab software. I just wanted to say that out there. I'm not trying to sell you this. I'm just using it because I love using it. And it's just easy for me to provide value for you guys through it. And yeah, it has this cool AI analysis that I really love, that kind of just gives you some, kind of creative targeting idea for the creatives that you make, the persona a little bit. I mean, in this case, it can't catch it. And also some, core desires that you could include in your marketing as well. But a lot of their ads are pretty simple, just very raw looking, but with like very strong call to actions and strong offers, which is really the key, right? Just eye catching, or like raw native looking ads with strong offers. That's a great combination. And then, of course, as I mentioned, on their landing pages, it's so much about social proof. Like, they just blow you out of the water with social proof, which is just genius. I mean, it's so simple, but it's so brilliant. And they just do so much of it. So it's like you just feel so confident that you want to buy this, especially if you see it in an ad, and especially if you're seeing that it's, up to 80% off, right? Like, that's huge. So that's pretty much it for this one. There's a lot more that I could cover. I mean, one of the things that they should for sure start doing is answering all their emails, doing all their refunds, and sending processing tracking numbers, sending DMs, and managing all their comments with a tool like Smart Reply. So I always want to give a shout out to Smart Reply in all the videos because it's such a valuable tool. You can literally replace multiple $800 to $2,000 a month virtual assistants with a $49 a month subscription. It's unbelievable. So I'm never going to stop talking about it. I'm a proud owner in this and spokesperson. I talk about it all the time, but it's part of our workflow that we use for clients. I've even sold this at the agency with the team on a setup fee. So if you're an agency, you can even do that. You don't even have to use it for yourself. You can just set it up for brands for a setup fee, and then you can actually be an affiliate and earn up 30% actually of all the software fees that the client pays, which is not a lot, but it can add up, especially if they're scaling. So yeah, consider that. Consider all the resources that I provide for you. I try to give you all the best tools that I use, and we try to actually keep our workflows extremely lean. So you know that whatever tool I'm recommending to you, it's to make your store leaner. It's actually not to add cost to you. That's why I mentioned things that are free, like Team Drop is free. Um, Smart Reply is not free. Adscape will be not requiring a subscription. You can actually use a lot of these Shopify Lab features for free. We have the AI store builder now for free. Like, I'm trying to do more and more things for free, um, so that you can just start your store and keep it super lean. It's amazing what you can do these days. One thing I almost forgot to mention, actually, I did check the traffic distribution of Addicted, and they are driving a ton of traffic, which is no surprise to anyone. But one of the interesting things is that it's actually almost entirely from the US, which is also not a surprise to anyone right now. Most of the stores that I mentioned, for example, the stores that we launched with the AI store template that we provide, we tested this on 3 different stores this month, and they're doing 2K a day. For those stores, we are doing US only. So, the US is just the best market. But that doesn't mean that other markets are not valid, right? So if they're doing, as I mentioned, right, 110 million or 120 million a month, a year, so 10 million a month, and you see that 86% of that is in the US, well, that means 3% here from Canada. That's, over $3 million a year. So there are smaller markets that still have this same kind of demand, just at a smaller scale, right? But like I mentioned, of course, we go over these $10 million a month, stores, and I want to get to these numbers, but you don't have to start there. You can start with getting to 10K a month and then 100K a month, right? And that's a really solid business. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. Especially if you have a job or something, e-commerce, especially the way that I just showed it to you, kind of the framework, is not that time consuming. So you could easily do it on the side while you're not working. Honestly, with some of these online jobs these days, I feel like there's just not, sometimes you're just waiting for the clock to go. So, this could be kind of a good thing that you could do on the side while you're working the clock. It's unfortunate for the companies, but at the same time, it's just how it is, right? Sometimes there's just not something for you to do. I totally get that. Yeah, that's about it for this one. See y'all in the next video. Peace out.